Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. In the early morning of March 3, 2025, the alarm lights on the top floor of Samsung Electronics headquarters in Gangnam District, Seoul suddenly flashed wildly. The urgent news, pushed by South Korea's Ilbo, exploded the Pacific Ocean like a depth charge. The semiconductor overlord that once called Chinese memory chips electronic garbage actually announced that it would pay patent fees to Yangtze Memory. As soon as the news came out, the technology circles on both sides of the Han River collectively broke down, and netizens commented, "This plot is comparable to the Wudong sect asking the beggars gang to buy the dog-beating stick method." In 2018, when Samsung's Crown Prince Lee Jae-yong cut the ribbon at the Xi'an factory, he pointed at Yangtze Memory's 32-layer NAND flash memory sample and sneered, "Chinese technology is nothing but that." But he would never have thought that 7 years later, Yangtze Memory's stacking 4.0 bonding technology would be used in its latest VNAND chip. This wave of operations reminds people of the plot in Swordsman where Yu Buchuan secretly practiced the sword manual of exorcism, but this time, the Stela became a famous and upright sect. Data is the most face-slapping. In 2024, Yangtze Memory's global flash memory market share soared to 28%, forcing Samsung to a historical low of 34%. Even more heartbreaking is that its 232-layer stacked chip yield rate exceeded 95%, 3 percentage points higher than Samsung's products of the same generation. The Korean Semiconductor Association revised the industry report overnight, quietly changing the statement of 5 years of technological leadership to complementarity in some areas. No wonder some netizens said, now even the memory chips in the kimchi jar have to be engraved with Chinese patent numbers. In the late autumn of 2016, the robotic arm of Samsung's Gumi factory was engraving the world's first 64-layer VNAND chip. John Dong-wook, then president of Samsung's storage division, pointed to the wafer under the microscope and said to the chosen Ilbo, "Chinese counterparts are still playing with building blocks, and we can already build skyscrapers on fingernails." This sentence was printed out by Yangtze Memory engineer Lao Chen and posted in the toilet cubicle of the Wuhan R&D Center. How big was the technological gap between China and South Korea at that time? For example, the chips spit out by a Samsung production line every minute are enough to buy a house in Shanghai's Lujiazui, while Yangtze Memory is still losing hair for the yield rate of 32-layer stacking. The metaphor of Korean professor Kim Chil-soo on a TV show is even more heartbreaking. Chinese memory chips are like wearing straw sandals to chase the high-speed rail, which looks inspiring but is actually funny. The turning point came on a rainy night in 2019. In the Yangtze Memory Laboratory, which was included in the U.S. Entity List, overseas returnee Dr. Zhang Wei broke the 47th wafer. The bond glue supply cut by Japan put the stacking technology she led on the verge of abortion. When she was about to submit her resignation letter, she caught a glimpse of the 2 bombs in 1 satellite documentary poster on the wall and suddenly slammed the table. "They blocked the physical formula, so we use quantum metaphysics to break through." This homemade army, composed of the Chinese Academy of Sciences and the Department of Microelectronics of Wuhan University, has turned Wuhan Optics Valley into a technology alchemy furnace. The temperature control system of the bonding workshop was changed to the same as the hot pot induction cooker. The AI algorithm, programmed in Sichuan dialect, was used to debug the equipment parameters, and even the stacking inspiration was obtained from the Chongqing hot pot grid. On the day of acceptance, in 2023, when the 232-layer chip was as stable as an old dog in the extreme test from -40 degrees Celsius to 125 degrees Celsius, the Japanese consultant on the scene blurted out, "Did the Chinese recite the Diamond Sutra to the wafer?" On Christmas Day 2024, Samsung engineers collectively lived in Bangbu while disassembling Xiaomi's latest flagship phone, the 1TB flash memory chip, which was known as the fastest in history, actually used Yangtze memory stacking 3.0 technology. What's even more amazing is that pattern searches show that the ultra-thin bonding solution that Samsung is developing has already been registered by the Chinese for 6 core patents. The Ministry of Justice dug out the 36 strategies of patent warfare overnight, but found a Chinese watermark on the title page. This military strategy is specially used to treat all kinds of disobedience. The killer of this patent siege is hidden in the Huawei Quantum Information Laboratory. Yangtze Memory's quantum etching pattern uses the principle of quantum entanglement of the Chinese Academy of Sciences to achieve atomic-level bonding accuracy. The laser bonding technology of the Wuhan National Research Center for Optoelectronics welds 2 wafers more tightly than a Korean kimchi jar. Samsung's Chief Technology Officer Choi Sang-wan lamented at an internal meeting, "We are still playing with microcarving, and the Chinese have already started time travel." In the spring of 2025, the Samsung booth at the Seoul COEX Convention and Exhibition Center was deserted. In the exhibition area of Yangtze Memory across the street, Korean distributor Lao Pu held up a translator and yelled, "This 512 gigabits 3D NAND chip is 30% cheaper than Samsung's and comes with a 5-year warranty." What's even more heartbreaking is that the Samsung logo is printed on the back cover of the product manual, and the small print below reads, "This product contains 23 Yangtze memory licensed patents." Customs data show that South Korea's memory chip exports plummeted 39% year-on-year in January this year, while Yangtze Memory's patent licensing revenue soared 800%. At the stalls in Seoul Digital City, stall owners began to sell in broken Chinese, Yangtze Memory, the mutai of the semiconductor industry. Samsung Electronics stock price plummeted, and Lee Jae-yong was so angry that he wrote in an internal letter, "Now even the cleaning lady at Hynix is secretly learning Chinese." This semiconductor power game is very similar to the Battle of Noryang during the Imjin War. When Lee Sun-sin defeated the Japanese pirates with the turtle ship, he would never have thought that 400 years later, his descendants would be smashed into technological hegemony by the quantum turtle ship of Chinese engineers. This reminds me of the notebooks that Qian Shuisen was detained at the customs when he returned to China. Those manuscripts that were considered worthless by Americans eventually turned into the trajectory of the Dongfang missile that cut through the sky. From 32-layer stacking to 232-layer bonding, from being kicked out of the supply chain to collecting patent fees in reverse, Chinese scientists have used 10 years to turn stuck-neck into trump card. Those keyboard warriors who said domestic chips are not good on the forum can now switch to selling Wuhan hot dry noodles. After all, even Samsung has to pay for the patent fees of Yangtze Memory. Today, this competition has long gone beyond commercial games. It is about whether 1.4 billion people can use their own silicon-based Great Wall to protect the digital territory, and about who will ignite the civilization fire of the intelligent era. When Samsung Electronics included reading Chinese technical documents in the evaluation of senior executives, the world suddenly understood. This time, the Chinese broke not only the technical barriers, but also the Western superiority theory that had been worshipped for 100 years. After all, in the semiconductor industry, the key to success is never the wavelength of the EUV lithography machine, but the oriental wisdom of turning a hot dry noodle stand into a research and development center. Just like the treasure ships of Shang He when he sailed to the west, the real technological revolution has always been born in the world of fireworks.